Virgo, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading that is Celtic Cross. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. With the Celtic Cross reading, as with any tarot reading, take resonates or leave what does not. And if a second energy pops up on your board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. For those of you wondering, no, I did not go emo on you. I'm actually reading yours the same day as Gemini, Libra, Taurus. And then at Taurus's reading, right around the end, it had become unbearably warm in here. And then, oh yeah, I've forgotten. I had taken down my old curtains over the weekend, and I had yet to put up the new ones. And the old ones, I'm tired of looking at them. Let's be clear about that. But they served a purpose. And the new ones will serve the same purpose, and that is to block some of the heat. Because I tell you, I'm right up here at the front of my windows, and when the sunshine pours through, it's beautiful. But it's very warm, like right here. So my face was turning obnoxiously pink for Taurus's reading. And I was like, oh my, I bet I look real interesting. So I dressed down, if you can believe it. Yeah, this is less warmer. I was wearing like a winter hoodie or something. Yeah, no. So we're in the workout gear, and that's fine because I got to hit the gym later anyway. Goodness me. Goodness me. But no, this is not alt sassy or alt Christina. It's promise I did not go emo on you. But if I did, would that be a bad thing? Would that be out of character? I identify more with goth myself. And you could say, that's a fine line, and maybe you're right. But I maintain there's a difference. Hi. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christina. I'm a little different. Just a little different. All right. What's up? What's going on? Show me, Virgo. Okay. Oh, the Lovers. Crossing. Five of Pentacles. Why? Why, Virgo? Why? Five of Cups crowning. Why? Oh, I know. I know. These things do happen. I know. Seven of Cups is in the past. Exiting as the Tower. Okay. Before you, the Queen of Swords, yeah. Strengths, Five of Wands. Oh, we're only missing the Five of Swords at this point. Okay. But speaking heavily to notes of change, 555. Environment, the Star, beautiful. Hopes and fears, Page of Wands. Outcome is the King of Cups, love, beautiful. Opening is the Lovers, very strong connection. And it infuriates you. No, it's complicated. This is one of those connections where if we put it on Facebook profile, we'd say, it's complicated. It's the bullshit category. Everybody knows it. It seems to be separated for now. May it stay that way. And if time, situation, circumstance suggests otherwise, then may it be then. Okay, but for now, it probably needs to stay that way. Change is involving on both sides. Excuse me, change is being influenced on both sides, I believe. A strong connection, automatically duality, the Lovers 2, 555, it's all kind of adding up into the space of change, and it needs to. So I'm not telling you to stay separated. I'm not saying be mean or angry. No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want anyone to reapproach the other under these current energies. It's hurtful. It's painful. It feels abandoned, and that still shapes. There's a lot of sadness here. It's at your crown. You would know. Five of Cups is at your crown. You were involved in those memories too. You had a direct hand in the making of them. When it felt good, I'm sure it felt good. And when it felt bad, I'm sure it felt really bad. Okay? There's things of regret there on both sides. I have no doubt. But I'm looking at you. But yeah, in some way you both share this. Five of Pentacles is challenging. The breakage here, the actual 3D break. And what surrounds it is disappointment, hurt, remorse, loss, regret, anger, frustration. You actually see that as a strength. That's interesting. We'll get there. But yeah, it hurts. And Seven of Cups in the past, at some point in the past, when? That's up to you. Recent past, long ago past. In some way, we tried to be open to this. Tried. Emotionally, tried to be open to this. Okay? Tower's on the exit. Little confrontation there. I can say the worst is over. Okay, I know the worst is over. But there was some confrontation here at the Tower. Someone brought the house down. You know, you say you're open, but you're not. You say you're trying to express yourself, but you're not. You're saying you have feelings, but you don't. Something like this. It got a little confrontational. You to them, they to you, or somewhere between the two of you. But here with Seven of Cups, we have the sense of openness. I'm trying to be in tune with you. I'm trying to express my feelings. And the Tower suggests bullshit. Bullshit. Something in here about false feeling. And don't lie about your feelings. Or something like that. And then also withholding. Withholding one's feelings is also a form of the Tower. Withholding suggests we're not feeling anything and we want the other person to believe that. And that's a lie in and of itself. Lots to work with. Queen of Swords before in the immediate future. Okay? Your mind gets sharp. It gets sharp, focused. I like that. We need some clarity here. Okay? 5 Wands in your strength. Yeah. You know, strengths or weaknesses, they're one and the same. So when I'm looking at your strengths, I can simultaneously see your weaknesses. And that's fine. That's normal. That's human nature. All cards in tarot reflect human nature. Pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. 5 of Wands. Typically, I would say something like that for Aries, and I would smile a little bit. Like, yeah, that's right. They enjoy a little fight. That's just part of their DNA code. But for you, you're like, my anger gives me strength. It depends. Is it working for you? Because if it's working for you, then it's a strength. You're right. Sometimes we need a little anger. Sometimes it's the motivation we need. It's not a sustaining motivator. Anger will never be a sustaining motivator. Sometimes it can feel that way. You pissed me off like you wouldn't believe. I'll hate you forever. I know we feel that way at the time. But I promise you it's not sustaining. Hate, anger is never sustaining. But it can be a hell of a motivator to get shit done. Especially when wounds are fresh, real, raw. Yeah, it can be a powerful starting point. And there's times when you must defend yourself, yes? Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's a strength as well. Knowing when and where, how to fight. That is a strength too, yes. Fight for yourself, what it is you believe in. And sometimes it gets real. I don't see it so often, you know. A lot of people prefer non-confrontation. Sometimes we must confront. Nothing about life was ever guaranteed to be easy. As soon as we're born, we enter a contract with the world, the universe. Things are not going to be easy. So knowing when and where, how to fight and stand up for yourself, what you believe in, etc., that's absolutely strength. But I'm curious to see how you're using yours in this context. Because all I can tell you is that if this thing has a shot in hell, change needs to take effect. Not stagnancy. Not the acceptance of as is. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands. That's as is. That's no good. The star in your environment. I see you hoping for something. Very desirous of something in your environment. That you would reach for it. That you would make it your path, your destiny, your vision. Page of Wands in the hopes and fears. Okay, I'll take that. Reasonable. To open up. That can be a fearful thing, a frightful thing. But a hopeful thing too. Page of Wands, little guy. It's okay. He's the only page associated with nerve. Wand is still fire. Hope, interest, light, passion. Anger too. Are you afraid that if you open up it would turn into a fight? Maybe part of you would like to resolve differences. We'll see. Very curious. Hopes and fears, a guarantee of nothing. It's just who we are on the inside. King Cups in the outcome. Love prevails. Strong heart there. Right there in the outcome. Love prevails. Okay. Openness of heart, full claimancy of one's feelings. Lovely. All right. Regardless under the context or how I see it, it's good to see that. That's all. The Lovers. Above all, love yourself. The Lovers. Show me the Lovers, please. One more. The Hanged Man, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Currently, yes, obviously, I've already said that this connection is currently suspended. Okay? I saw that. I also advised very early that if how we think and feel and want to approach this, if it changes, then it might have a shot in hell. Otherwise, it's just shot. Shot to hell, not necessarily shot in hell. But yeah, no, it's Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. I see you deeply contemplating the very things I'm talking about from a very realistic place, and that's something I would absolutely 1000% expect from you. Any earth sign, but you particularly, looking at this very carefully, looking at this lover's connection very, muy, so carefully. Mira. Listen, we're looking at this so carefully. Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, realistically, the work to fix this fucking thing. And that's very you. That's very you. Your mind goes there. I'm not saying you're doing anything now. It's under contemplation, under perspective. Realistically, you've already clocked that. That was easy. It will take so much work to get this thing out of stuckness and stagnation and bullshit and to make it functional, Christina. Do you have an idea? Yeah, I do. I really do. Takes two. I always say that. I will always say that. And it's not just in this respect. The 3D effort, that would probably be the easiest thing by far. We're talking about the emotional work. We're talking about the mental work. That's as well. So it's not just the literal showing up, okay, boots on the ground. It's everything else too that would suggest the lovers to make it work. Emotional connectivity, mental connectivity. And I see you looking at it, doing your calculations. Okay. If I was able to invest this, that, and the other, and you're doing percentages, and you're doing ratios, and you're doing divisions, long division of this connection, its relationship potential, everything that would need to make it work. You're doing the math, like literally on this connection. What does it mean to build into it? What kind of upfront cost are we looking at? So you. That's so you. Oh, that is so you. The Five of Pentacles is crossing. So, I mean, again, it's on pause. We ain't doing nothing with it. Nope. No. It's under contemplation. And for those of you who don't know that expression, shot in hell and shot to hell, two different expressions. One suggests there's a slim chance. The other one says not at all. Oh, Five of Pentacles. And you want to know which is which. And if that even applies to you in your situation. Oh, it does. It does. But that's why we're here, honey. We're going to take a look. Five of Pentacles. There's that tower. Aye! Two of Swords, the Magician. Five of Pentacles. Here's why it broke. Someone didn't want it enough, and they weren't honest with themselves about it. You or them, somebody wasn't honest with themselves. At least one person wasn't honest with themselves about how they actually wanted this. Somebody was emotionally unavailable underneath it all. Yeah, but somebody here, this is the reason why it broke. Okay? Not enough realistic effort, time, energy, and effort was taken, invested in this properly on any level, 3D, mental, emotional, spiritual, to sustain it. And that's why it broke. You know? The Magician, Two of Swords, the Tower. Somebody just couldn't admit it to themselves that they really wanted it, that they were really available to it. It was a little bit dishonest there. Like, oh, yeah. Somebody didn't know how to be honest with themselves. in denial about the summoning, in denial about manifesting. And that means we always had room to escape the situation. I never really wanted this. I had no intention of putting this into my life. I had no intention of building into it. Somebody always had an escape route. It's kind of like saying, I'm manifesting, but no, I'm not. So it was a lie. It was a lie in the spirit. I want this, but I also want plausible deniability. I want to be able to back out at any time from my desire and say it wasn't a desire. See, I didn't put anything into it. See what I'm saying? So that was kind of a big lie. That was a big one. It's a spiritual lie, if nothing else. And, you know, one person in the tower hears twice is going to pay for that karmically, and got to catch up to it and learn from it. You know, but the biggest pay here is loss of the connection. You know, you spend a chunk of energy welcoming something into your life and then simultaneously pushing it away. You know, there's a lot to deal with there. There's going to be a lot of fallout. 5 of Cups. Five of Cups is at the crown. Yeah, the Devil too. Oh my God, Knight of Swords. This reading needs to go somewhere right around this point, otherwise it's getting scrapped. Look, I have nothing but respect for high intensity readings, okay? But this is collective. It's not like one-to-one. One-to-one, I'm going to get more of a result because I'm working with one person. A collective reading, this needs to go somewhere. I want my viewers to watch something that gives them something to work with, some insight, okay? But I made it a point from the very beginning to advocate change. I saw it. 5, 5, 5. Otherwise, this stays as is. But I need to see some progress. There's a lot of... Holy shit, we can't stop thinking about the past. A lot. Oh, that's a lot. Perhaps it got into the space of mental obsession. I can't stop thinking about the past. 9 of Swords, the Devil, Knights of Swords. There's a lot of preoccupation here with action or fail to action, call or fail to call, talk, fail to talk. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas are quite high here, and I don't mean that in a judging way. I mean it really is preoccupying to someone's mental space. This is what I should have done. 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 I didn't know that then. Or I didn't want to see it then. I didn't know how to act on it then. Or there's so much in there. That is some hardcore rumination of the past. And it's within you, technically. Okay. I can see where, over here, that kind of spiritual responsibility falls on somebody. I don't know who. But up here, I'm saying that is attached to you. Everything that went wrong from your point of view. And you can't get out of your head about it. Okay. And it hurts real bad. It's like watching the worst parts of a horror movie over and over again. You just got that same spot on rewind. Or multiple spots. Okay. But yeah, I need to see progress. I get it. I respect what you're going through. Them too, by extent, but I'm not reading them. I have the impression of a second energy. We got to see some progress, guys. Like I said, change. We need change. We need change. We need change. Honey, I might be a romantic, but I'm not stupid. This needs change. And it either will or it won't. 7 of Cups is in the past. Well, you're making me work today, ain't you? You guys better not skip any of the damn ads. I'll tell you that right now. Excuse my language. You know, guys, I don't do memberships. I don't do the super, what do you call it, when you keep live open to get donations live. I don't do any of that crap. If people want to give me a thanks, a tip, great. I appreciate you. I do. You throw a donation my way, I appreciate you. But for the most part, by and large, ads, I get paid with ads, and that's the way it should be. Okay? But I'm telling you this right now. Okay? I hope you're not skipping the ads, because this one's intense and this one's difficult. And you're putting me through the paces today. Knight of Cups, the Lovers in reverse in the past. 7 of Cups, Jesus. That's just so much. Recap. This is why I have to repeat myself often, because people lose track of the points. I will lose track of the points, honey. It gets so involved. So, not only did somebody do kind of a whopper, I was in denial about wanting this, and then it played out the way it played out. One person, at least, is responsible for that. Also, in the past, there it is, the Lovers twice. So again, somebody failed to open up. Okay? They said they were open. That was the lie. I already addressed that in the beginning, and it's just being confirmed. The Lovers in reverse, the Knight of Cups. Someone either lied about their feelings or they withheld them, and it was the same as a lie. That means someone opened up and said, I love you, or I'm in love with you, and the other person's like, I hear that. Instead of reciprocating, returning, or whatever. Or they did the horrible thing and lied. Said, I love you too, and they didn't mean it. So I don't know. I don't know that one scenario is actually worse over the other. I just know that that was most likely the one of two cases. All right. The Tower's in the past. And on the exit. So like I said, the worst part is over. It's true. But I can see why this had to stop. I hope you understand that. And that should be the biggest takeaway for you in this connection. Complicated as it was, and as challenging as this Lovers connection was, this is probably going to be one of the more challenging Lovers connections I've seen in a long time. The worst part is over. But yeah, you can see why it had to stop, right? You see why it had to stop. We had delusions coming in and fantasies being built into and lies being built upon. It had to stop. Someone couldn't even admit to themselves that they wanted this and were rejecting it simultaneously. Like I said, they always left themselves an out. Then they could also say, I was never really building into it, because technically that was true. If you don't believe you want this for yourself, why would you see your effort in trying to keep it or push it away? We're in denial about both. And it's 7 of Cups, the Lovers, and the feelings. Ten of Swords, and that's what brought down the house. 3 of Wands and Strength, yeah. No, at least it put an end to anticipation of the ending, because at least at that point it was complete. So no more fear of the ending. At least that stopped, because it's like, okay, here it is. It's finally done. This shit show finally played out the way it played out. So that kind of, in a weird way, kind of took the pressure off you. It kind of got you off the hook. Okay, this thing is done now. It finally blew up. The infrastructure was shit. It was 2 people playing into this one way or the other. And I can see where you ruminated on it to this day. But who actively was in denial of this connection, how much they wanted it, and who was in denial of their feelings so intensely? I don't know, but those were major contributing factors to this thing blowing up, and once more it needed to. All I can kind of see that for you, yes, the worst of it is over, the hard part's over. 10 of Swords, 3 of Wands, and Strength. And again, it kind of took this pressure off of you. It's okay, well, that's done now. That's done now. I don't have to have the strength for this anymore. I don't have to anticipate the worst anymore, because now the worst is done. It's done. It's out of my hands now. It's done. So I can kind of see where for you that was relieving. Okay. Like this thing played out. Finally, it played out. Either you had permission to blow it up or they had permission to blow it up, but whatever the case is, because I honestly don't know who the hell is who at this point, it took pressure off of you to continue to participate or anticipate any further damage at this point. Okay? Right, so, Queen of Swords, what's up? In your immediate future. Yeah, so I want to go back to that opening when, at least from your point of view with this Lovers, realistically you're looking at this and you're saying, the work, do you have any idea the work it would need to get this thing in motion in a steady, consistent way? I mean, well, perhaps not, but you do. Why are you looking at it then? If this was so odd, so bizarre, so painful, so full of lies and delusions and misgivings and miscommunications, intentionally misconstrued communications, conversations, why would you think about putting work into it, Virgo, honey? Why? What got you thinking about that? Does a part of you still want this? Five of Cups. Sadness is still with you. The Hierophant, the Knight of Wands. A part of you is deeply emotionally committed to this. Despite all the bullshit and the drama and the misgivings, a part of you is still deeply drawn to this. I would even say spiritually present, if not in some way committed to it. I don't know if it's commitment in the traditional sense that people think of, i.e. marriage, but in some way a part of you, a shard of you, a splinter of you is committed to this. In the immediate future too. A Five of Cups. But I have to say, you do get out of your head to your full credit. To your full credit. This is where you are roughly now. You do get out of your head. And then I see you take a more forward motion in a positive way. Your thoughts get clearer in future. Your energy gets more positive in the future instead of just stuck on rumination mode, but very intense. Very intense. You're almost going over the past like you're hurting yourself too. Please be careful with that. But nonetheless, I see that you get clarity on the subject. Part of your spirit wants to resolve this. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't even know what that means to you. I have no fucking idea what that means to you. But a part of you spiritually wants to resolve this. And it went from largely negative to, well, I'm not without thought and I'm not without feeling. There is still yet more I can do for myself. And your energy becomes a lot more positive and sure-footed. And it starts to move in a particular direction. That's good. That's good. It's like you get out of your head and say, you know, I can approach this differently. Thought, feeling, I can approach this differently. And you're right, you can. I did say, when it comes to this connection and your perception of it and how you feel about it, it's going to take a lot of change. And there's a lot of material to unpack here. I honestly don't think I'm doing this justice. I need to give it so much more. I don't know if I can. I'm like you in that opening. I really... Do you have any idea how much work would need to go into this reading? I really want to unpack it further. Let's keep going. Five of Wands and your strengths. In some way, you want spiritual resolve towards this, don't you? It's forcing you to think about it differently in order to do that, which is good. That's good. That means your energy shifted. Whatever this is that happened, it shifted many times in very powerful ways. And therefore, if you want to work through it, you yourself have to be willing to shift. How you were perceiving in the past isn't working for you in present day. I know, because of all that conflict is there, and it hurts you deeply to see as it was in the worst parts of your mind. So the fact that you are turning this thing around to a more positive spin suggests that you are better seeing yourself in this and how it actually played out and what it meant to you, more at the spiritual level, okay, as opposed to just sticking to the negative traits of the thing. So you're forcing your mind to try to see this in a different point of view, in a positive point of view, because in some way you are spiritually committed to understanding this. So I congratulate you for that. Anyway, let's see that Five of Wands, please. Justice, Six of Wands. It's kind of like saying, I will have my day in court. I don't think court's actually involved, but I did see justice here, Six of Wands, confidence. Six of Wands is one stick higher, if you will, than the five in the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. It's like your anger has served a purpose. I like that. I like that. I'll take that. My anger has served a purpose. All those nights of keeping myself awake at night, tortured with these thoughts and feelings, it served a purpose. You're right. And for you, I believe your anger, as you see it as a strength, can be a hell of a motivator. I'm sorry. You know, there's something to that, isn't there? People who change their habits, I mean hardcore change their habits, put themselves through absolute hell before they do it. I know this thing is wrong for me. I know I should give it up. But I'm going to put myself through it before I allow myself to accept the change of it. Yeah, I see you put yourself through it. But somehow you're making it work for you. You will feel better about this situation when you learn to see it differently, when you learn to perceive yourself differently, incorporate the knowledge you need to incorporate about this. There's a lot to discuss here, however. Lots of towers, both equally significant. Someone very much in denial about how much they wanted this connection, and therefore refused to see how they weren't building into it, even while they thought they were. And then the loved one was a big one. That's a big one. Somehow I think that might have caused the most damage. There's a lot to unpack here for you, still. Your willingness to see it, see yourself differently. Okay? Love yourself a little more, understand yourself a little more. It's going to go a long way for you. If you can believe it, though, I have to maintain my conviction you two were meant to meet for a reason. You two were meant to meet for a reason. But no, your strength here is going to serve you well. That anger that first perhaps made you feel trapped and maybe irrational, it did serve a purpose. It was your motivator to unpack this, unravel it, understand it. It took a while. But nonetheless, you will feel balanced in the end and confident and correct. Okay? The star in your environment. Four of Wands, the Emperor. Okay. Strength. Oh, wow. I see you as the head of a household in your environment, if not yet, eventually. I don't quite know where this all fits in. The Emperor, Four of Wands, and Strength, but I see you head of household, perhaps in time with the star there, something you very much desire for yourself in your environment. To be the source of pride and strength. Okay. The leader of your household, the leader of your tribe, those who follow you. with strength of will and conviction. And your environment, your star, it is your dream. It is your dream, like I said, to be head of a household that makes you feel proud, strong, part of a unit, but where you take lead, a firm, gentle lead. And people take your word seriously. They seek your word, they seek your advice, they seek your counsel. But also a partnership that makes you feel strong. Okay? Where you're seen as leader. Not controller, but leader. Okay? That's a very important vision to you. So yeah, I see you head of that household, if not now, then in your vision as the star. You dearly, dearly admire that quality. And leadership, strength, discipline. But stability too. Where you have your own tribe. And your tribe surrounds you. And seeks to you to guide them. They look to you to guide them. And that's what's in your vision. And you would provide safety and security. It's very masculine in there. I'm not saying that one way or the other. I'm not saying you have to be a man. I'm just saying that's a very masculine energy. To be seen as the giver and protector and the provider. Someone who leads the way and his word is taken seriously. Again, I'm not speaking to control, but I'm speaking to leadership. Page of Wands. May that be. It's not a bad vision at all. It's quite lovely, actually. Page of Wands. Make sure you have your equal then. 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. When did we last see that? Right here on your bridge. Knight of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, the Hermit. Yeah, you're going to open up in your hopes and fears. And to your credit, that's what you call a realistic hope and fear. In other words, it's most likely in the cards for your reality. Okay? Not just what I'm saying here. It will most likely happen. Somebody else has something similar. We're in their hopes and fears. I actually saw it happen on their bridge, so that means it's most likely going to be the case. But yeah, the Hermit, Knight of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. You're going to try something. You're going to try something here on that bridge. You are showing me confidence around this, but it's super simple. It's nothing that's out of control. 3 of Pentacles, some really basic effort, cooperation, common ground, common interest, building into this. So it's right here on the bridge where you get focused. And you're showing me a lot more mental and spiritual resolve in a particular direction, and it eases you considerably. And it suggests to me that change is indeed occurring for you. You looking at this differently, experiencing it, willing to look at it differently, okay, allows you to experience it differently, which means you can handle it differently, which is in turn is allowing you to open up in other areas and try something that feels positive and correct to you, okay? And I do see that happening. Now, hope here, you hope that it's the right call. You hope it's the right decision. You hope it's the right declarative. You hope it's the right project or the right effort at the right time. You're afraid it may not be. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, that's the roll of the dice there. Not everything's within our control. Okay. But I see you playing to your strengths here. Whatever this is, it feels correct. Right here. I don't know what you're doing, but it's working. You've completely changed your point of view. This is healthy. This works. It's the start. Hopefully it's the start to your vision there. King of Cups. King of Cups and that outcome, please. Sorry, Page of Swords, the Moon. Oh, death. Lots of transformation, not just you. Fair. Page of Swords, The moon, death. I know that sounds negative, bad. That depends on what you know of tarot. It's yet to come forward. In other words, you don't fully know it yet, but there's been a radical change of heart and transformation. The heart space shows up very strongly, either you or for them, and it's been changed. What was absent before, lied about, hidden, or intentionally misconstrued, has changed. Now we have full ownership of one's feelings rather than the denial of them. Lots of water there towards the end, particularly Pisces. Scorpio doesn't have to be, it's just FYI. Anyway, where there is... No, there is no deep love here. There is no deep or strong attachment. There is nothing, nothing, nothing. Either lied, withheld, or someone demonstrated false feelings. That's what blew this up. It evoked in you a sense of relief. Well, that's done. I don't have to anticipate pain and torture anymore. It's done. Some of you have a very interesting streak of Leo in you. And in future, we have the claimancy of it. A lot of transformation behind the scenes. Not easy, so change then. I did say from the beginning, change both sides. You, with a lot of perspective in that opening, from a very reasonable point of view, contemplating the work it would take to fix this. I don't know if that was your objective over here, necessarily. But you making changes for yourself, the willingness to look at this differently and feel it differently, work through it differently, allowed for changes enough. I am seeing what looks like a radical overhaul of the heart space, and where someone could discount their feelings or disclaim them or just not own them. The opposite is now true. A lot of transformation. Okay. You ain't better skip none of the ads. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Oh, I like what you're doing for yourself. I was wondering there, seriously wondering if I was gonna have to scrap this one. As interesting as it was, it's extremely involved and it's stretched out over 2 towers in time. You've had your insights that allowed you to ease the process of how you think about this, how you experienced it in the past now, and you gave yourself permission to stop beating yourself up. Because now you can see it differently. You can own it differently. You can react to it differently now. And I don't know what you're doing right here on the bridge, and it backs up again in your hopes and fears. Baby. Sina, baby. What's wrong? What's wrong, honey? What's wrong? Oh. So she's pawing at her face. Oh, I need to trim her long. She just got agitated. I guess something landed on her whiskers or something, and she's trying to get it off. Okay. Anyway, I thought she was having a fussy dream. Sometimes she gets fussy dreams, I'll tell you. Anyway, I like the work that you've done here. I do feel like you'll be justified in the end. I like, in some way, I see you engaging with or creating the opportunity to do something new or show an interest in repairs. That's up to you. Clearly. Given the serious contemplation of your opening, that's what I'm leaning towards. I believe you're showing me interest in repairs. But in starting out in functional ways. May it be returned to you. If this is what you really want, then so be it. Just so long as you can see this more clearly today than you did yesterday, and you can feel better about it today than you did yesterday. And may it be returned to you. Change is never a one-sided thing. Not when it involves two. Okay. Can I just ask you a real question? You can answer this to yourself. You don't have to tell me. When you think about that household, and you're the head of it, with strength and discipline, stability, do you see them in it? Do you see them in it? Strength will be used very differently here. Are they a source of pride and admiration for you? Or would you see them as a destructive entity to your household, and let that be the answer to your question? As either love, support, and it's fair, or it's not. I'm glad that you learned to see this and experience it differently, perhaps more in alignment to what actually happened in the past. Okay? Hopefully them too. So regardless of how that household looks like to you in future, where you're the head of it, would it be a peaceful, stable, loving household that gives you a good source of pride, strength? That's all. The crossing, initiation, taking the initiation, 54 to the crossing. Fool's embrace, transmuting pain. That's more like it. Yes. That's what we're talking about here today. Yes. That's exactly what you did. I hated seeing you like that, honey. Transmuting pain. And I understand that's where you were. And you won't always be there. 22. But that's exactly what you're doing. The crossing, the initiation. Right there on the bridge. I see you building into something. It's like a bridge, an invitation to cross. That's exactly right. 54. Yeah. Okay. Hidden keys. Okay. Put things together piece by piece to reveal the bigger picture. Piece by piece. You know what's interesting? Speaking of the puzzle pieces right here. See that? Reminded me immediately of something So, of course, Cinnamon, who is a Virgo, by the way. Take her for walks every day, multiple times. Okay? Somebody has in my neighborhood, a very clever front yard. And the stepping stone paths. Their stepping stone paths are in the shape of puzzle pieces. None of them are connected. And there's like a little handmade, garden sign or garden fairy sign that says, your path doesn't always make sense until you see how it connects. Very clever. Hidden keys. Put things together piece by piece to reveal the bigger picture. As answers unfold. Oh, very true. Keep your mind open and be willing to learn from this experience. That's exactly where you are. The oracles are killing it today, at least with you. The little bridges here. And sometimes they add up and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they piss you off. But they make sense to those who need to hear it. All right, now how long has this been going on? Okay. On Friday. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. October, on a stormy day. There might have been a very difficult... Did you guys break up on a Friday in October? Or that was the last time you saw it? Yes. I don't know about breakup, but that's what this was. I mean, I don't even know it was a breakup. It doesn't feel like a breakup. Breakup's super easy. I see that shit all day, every day. This was more like tearing a thunder. Okay, it hurt. The last time we saw this person was a Friday in October. I swear. I can feel it. It was a Friday in October. I don't think it was last October. Rewind a couple of Octobers. And that's when it was. When my hands get twitchy and achy. I know. on a stormy day. It was on a rainy day. Or is the metaphor for tears or rain that day? Heavy rains or tears that day. Okay. Maybe. It was a stormy day in October. Specifically a Friday. In spring. There might have been some significant energy around spring. Last spring, upcoming spring, I don't know. I don't know. Spring is spring. Spring happens in some places sooner rather than later. So, for instance, here in the South. Yeah. No, but that's not true. Actually, our coldest month tends to be February, but still January for some of you, spring for others. Okay. I'm just saying. You better help me out and watch those damn ads. B, R, I'm teasing. Just the impression of the work, eh? All right, the medallion of Capricorn. You know, that's fine. You might have some very strong Capricornian chart could be connecting to in the upcoming season might be important to you, which is late December to early January. Fits the bill. But the key word here is ambitious. Ambitious. Perhaps someone's ambition was getting ahead of them. They were reaching too hard, too fast, or for the wrong reasons. Ambition got in the way, maybe. I feel like that plays into it today. I do. The four-leaf clover. A little bit of luck, though. A little bit of luck. Some of you touch of the Irish. Yeah, a little bit of luck here. May not seem like it, but there is. All right. I haven't done Capricorns yet. Do you know that? I haven't. You didn't leave any space for there. So now I have to break anyway and attach them to the water signs. I have to. You drained me. All right? I'm tapped out. I'm tapping out. Okay? I'm tapping out. Right? Unfortunately, there's no one to get in the ring and take over for me. So we gotta stop it here for today. I'm tapped out. You took it all, Virgo. You took it all. And now I need my energy drink, I need my protein bar, and I need to go. I gotta go. Virgo, honey. No, this one was complicated, yes, but it had its moments of reward, insight, but above all, that bridge made me so happy when you start to shift your thinking, and thus your feeling follows suit. And I think your truer self there, the Hierophant there, right on the bridge, suggests in some way you're still spiritually devoted to understanding this because you want to understand yourself, and that's why I don't think you let it. I know that's why you don't let it go. Because if you can unpack this, you can understand yourself better, which means you can line up to your future goals or endeavors that are extremely important to you. Okay? So if you're looking for a solution to this, you're going to find it. I know you will. And it doesn't just stay there in the sense of the self. No, it goes outside of you too. There's the opportunity here to do something with this. I know there is. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.